If you haven't tried the viral chocolate bar before, today we're making 3 Dubai treats for a taste of the Middle East. The original creation inspired by fixed chocolatiers and these chocolate-covered strawberries. Take a look at that slice, as well as the layered Dubai strawberry cups. This divine combination of creamy pistachio, crunchy Knafeh, and chocolate all comes together into a delightful dessert that is easy to recreate at home. I'll also be showing you where to find these specialty ingredients, plus other magical tips like the secret to getting a thick Knafeh layer onto your strawberries every time, and much more. So let's join the Arabian adventure with Raja the tiger and his desert friends, and be sure to keep on watching. On this beautiful day, we're visiting my local Middle Eastern and Mediterranean grocery store. Tavlin Market is truly an experience, from the authentic fresh food to the staple items on their shelves. I highly recommend stopping by a Middle Eastern grocery in your area, since many of the products may be sold out or way overpriced online. Here they even offer their own selection of chocolate bars, stuffed dates, pistachio cupcakes, and made-to-order strawberry cups on their Dubai chocolate menu. I purchased one of these secret ingredients featured in their strawberry cups. This is a dark chocolate tahini with a pinch of sea salt. Think of it as a Middle Eastern twist on hot fudge. The owners were so friendly to share this behind the scenes of making a Dubai strawberry cup for you guys. Thank you, Tavlin, for allowing me to film in your kitchen. You just have to try this amazing combination of ingredients in a cup and see what all the hype is about. Now, let's dive into these 3 viral recipes. Number 1 are the Dubai chocolate-covered strawberries, coated in a generous layer of Pistachio Knafeh Filling, enrobed in chocolate, then topped off with a drizzle and crunchy pistachio pieces. First, you're going to need Knafeh, which is shredded phyllo dough for that crunch. This one is pre-chopped and what I prefer to use for strawberries, which I'll go into more detail a little later. Next is pistachio cream. The Marullo brand is super tasty and has a hint of sweetness compared to plain pistachio butter, as well as some tahini and your favorite high-quality brand of chocolate melting wafers. Into a skillet, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of butter, stirring until melted over medium heat. Once completely melted, go ahead and pour in 100 grams of dried Knafeh. This can take some time since the result should be toasted until golden brown for a crispy texture, otherwise the mixture can get soggy. If you prefer a quicker alternative, the toasting can also be done in the oven for preparing bigger batches. Just flip every once in a while to evenly brown. After toasting is complete, remove the Knafeh from the heat and transfer to a separate dish to allow everything to cool off. My essential tips for working with pistachio cream are warming the jar into a bowl of hot water instead of microwaving, which can ruin the texture. And straight out of the jar, it isn't that bright, beautiful green everyone loves. So the secret is to combine drops of yellow and neon green gel food coloring, so bump it up to a vibrant color. Notice how it should be smooth and pourable after warming. I mix 1 full 6.7 ounce jar of cream into the Knafeh along with 2 tablespoons of tahini. Keep in mind the Knafeh should be nice and cooled because you don't want to cook the tahini or cream. The mixture will be dry like the desert and drink up all the liquid. Everything should be folded in to create your crunchy and delicious filling that's named after the Middle Eastern dessert Knafeh. All I'm doing is dropping the Knafeh into a pan that's lined with parchment paper and pressing down with my spatula to form into a compact sheet. By the way, I leave this out at room temperature. A few minutes in the fridge hardens super fast and won't be moldable for the strawberries. My magic trick to simplify the process is taking a sheet of plastic wrap and lining the inside of a small silicone cup. Then cut a small square of knafeh and press to evenly spread all around the cup. Bring it up the sides either with a spoon or your gloves, whatever works best for you. I find this method is so much more helpful to cover the strawberries, and the layer of filling should look something like this. It's time to grab a strawberry and pinch to hold the leaves back. Place right into the cup and twist it closed with the plastic wrap. While holding in one hand, pack the mixture around the berry with the other. Finish by peeling off the wrap and remove any excess filling hanging off the bottom of the berry. And look at how simple that is to achieve the perfect berry shape. The technique is neat and no fail to adhere without crumbling off, while having just the right thickness of knafeh layer when the berry is sliced open. Comment down below if you want to try out this technique. As I mentioned before, I leave the berries out at room temperature while I melt my chocolate using half of the Ghirardelli milk and half of their dark chocolate wafers. Really creates a rich blend that complements the pistachio and crunch. Samir the giraffe approves. I thin out the Ghirardelli wafers with coconut oil, so just one coat of chocolate leaves the surface appearing bumpy and a bit sheer. I find it best to do a double dip for an overall smoother look by going back in with another coat immediately after the first dip. And normally I wipe the excess off the back of the berry. However, I don't in this case since it will expose a layer of filling and cause leakage. Instead, I shake off as much as possible and clean up the edges later, which is when they're completely set and ready to take off the silicone mats. And guys, if you're enjoying so far, be sure to join the party and subscribe for more fun treat tutorials and hit that bell to receive all notifications. I forgot to mention this filling recipe covers approximately 9 strawberries, and remember to insert a wooden skewer in the center for dipping. The berries are dipped and the fun part is the decorating. All they need are finely chopped pistachios as a topping for the presentation. Get ready to drizzle on the remaining melted chocolate and sprinkle the pistachio pieces on top. I like to sprinkle on one side to give it a unique look. Have all your pistachios and supplies nearby to quickly sprinkle on so they stick to the drizzle without falling off. If desired, serve this gourmet set of berries with an extra side of pistachio cream. The second viral treat are the luscious Dubai strawberry cups. Streamlining the assembly is a breeze by putting together your own DIY bar setup, including all your ingredients and a warming tray to eliminate having to go back and forth to the microwave. This one I'm using is from Amazon and works really well without overheating. I'll provide the link in the description box down below. It kept my pistachio cream and chocolate toppings at a smooth and fluid consistency. I just pre-warmed the jar of cream in hot water prior to placing on the tray. Start chopping up your berries as close as possible to assembling the cups. This ensures they stay fresh and don't turn mushy. However you want to slice or dice it, I like slicing into fourths for smaller chunks so you get a little bit of everything in each bite and they're easier to eat. Some like halves too. It's really all up to your preference. Our bowl of berries are the last item to go on the bar. Here are the 12-ounce clear dessert cups from my Amazon store, and I have squeeze bottles to drizzle the pistachio cream around the inside by swirling and tilting as you go around, as well as some of the Ghirardelli melted milk chocolate wafers. For a layer of crunch, I toasted my dried Knafeh beforehand, just as we did earlier in the video. Drop some spoonfuls in there, in addition to the warmed up pistachio cream over the top, and a few handfuls of sliced strawberries. The chocolatey layer consists of Nutella and the dark chocolate tahini for the perfect balance of sweetness. Instead of adding plain tahini, the dark chocolate version has a bold kick with some sea salt, and Nutella has the chocolatey sweetness everyone craves with a hint of hazelnuts. Continue layering to fill up the cup. As you notice, I kept the crunchy Knafeh and creamy pistachio separate instead of into a Knafeh mixture. This is my favorite way to enjoy all the layers without having it be too heavy or overpowering. Aside from taste, another plus is the consistency of Nutella, and chocolate tahini remains fudgy at room temperature, similar concept to a chocolate ganache, while regular melted chocolate hardens with more of a shell. And remember not to squeeze the cup too hard so the drizzle doesn't get squished. There's no right or wrong order, but mine is crunch, pistachio cream, followed by chopped strawberries and both kinds of chocolate on top. Tablet Market inspired me to incorporate this Middle Eastern hot fudge after seeing it in the cups at their store. Now we're almost stacked to the top, so I arrange the berries near the rim, then drip on a pool of pistachio cream and garnish with chopped pistachio pieces. Bring this to the next level with a Kinder Bueno bar, completely optional but an amazing extra to complement the hazelnut and the Nutella, and a strawberry half in the center. Don't delay having a bite, these are best enjoyed as a make and eat treat. Last but not least is the famous Dubai chocolate bar, oozing with Knafeh filling and encased with chocolates. Find a silicone chocolate bar mold that's nice and deep for stuffing with Knafeh. Mine is 1 inch in depth. An easy and effortless game changer is to cut your mold into individual cavities. Before we get molding, first I decorate with edible gold leaf for a touch of elegance. It's commonly used to embellish many luxury desserts and wedding cakes. I suggest pre-shredding onto a plate by crumbling with your fingers because the static can be tricky to work with. And all it takes is dropping the gold leaf randomly across the mold without pressing down, scattering all around until achieving your desired look. And the creativity is all in the classic green and yellow splatter design. Have your chocolate melted and inside a piping bag that has a very small hole cut out for thin lines. Give it a splatter effect with quick dabbing motions and a light pressure. When it's all set, I pour the melted Ghirardelli with an OXO pouring cup straight into the cavity. Once the bottom area is completely covered, pick up the mold, gripping the rim and rotate to coat the edges and as far up as possible, and spill the extra chocolate back into the OXO cup. And there's so much less mess than coating with a brush or spoon. The most important tips are to have it thinned out to a fluid, pourable consistency. Coconut oil is my thinning agent, and at the ideal molding temperature, Ghirardelli is around 90 degrees to prevent chocolate bloom or white spots. In place of dried Knafeh, we're switching it up using the frozen version from the Middle Eastern grocery store. A box was $5.99 and much cheaper since the pastry comes in long strands that have to be chopped by hand. Simply thaw it out the night before. We're going to need 100 grams of this chopped up. It can be a bit of a workout. However, if you have kitchen shears on hand, that's an even better tool than a knife. Here's our mountain of Knafeh. The following recipe for the filling makes 3 Dubai chocolate bars. Head over to the stove and melt 4 tablespoons of butter over medium heat. To the melted butter, I'm adding a mix of both types of Knafeh, 100 grams of frozen and 100 grams of the dried pre-cut kind, which is 200 grams total. Mixing both types together results in more of a gooey Knafeh filling for the chocolate bar that you see in lots of the TikTok videos out there, while still having that crunch. The frozen pastry takes longer to toast, but it's worth the wait. Allow the toasted mixture to cool before pouring in 10 ounces of warm pistachio cream, which is around 1.5 jars, and 3 tablespoons of tahini. As it is, that's a lot of pistachio cream. Since the Knafeh tends to absorb the nut butter, it's completely optional to stir in 1 teaspoon of a flavorless vegetable oil at a time until reaching your desired consistency. Doing this helps make the filling even more gooey. Take a large pastry brush to reinforce with a second layer of chocolate. The first layer has already set, and I'm applying the coating focusing on the edges. Reinforcing will ensure there's no cracks and will encase all your filling, and there's no need to coat the bottom base of the mold, only around the edges. Allow the second layer to completely set. Next, the most satisfying step is to scoop your filling and plop the spoonfuls into the cavity until filled as much as possible. As I fill, I lightly press and spread with a spoon or flat spatula instead of packing down too tightly, so the filling maintains its soft texture without hardening. Let's close up the back of the bar with more chocolate. I'm pouring over as I go with a silicone pouring cup. Total, I used around 8 ounces of ghirardelli per bar and thinned out with coconut oil for a pourable consistency. Shake to settle out the chocolate and clean up the sides by scraping off the excess. You'll finally be able to enjoy your chocolate bar after chilling in the fridge for about 30 minutes or completely set. Then gently pop out of the mold by peeling away and releasing from the sides to reveal the magic. These truly taste as amazing as they look. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make this enchanting trio of Dubai chocolate treats. Comment which item was your favorite in the comment section down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new. It's Christina here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.